Mr. Marky Backrow Ministry, the world premiere, coming at you live and direct. So, quick video I wanted to put together about the California wildfires and take us back to where we were in our last video with the number 14. That was 15 at one point, then it went back to 14. And I just want to talk about ritual and why certain rituals take place. What's the meaning of rituals? Remember now, we are 6 days away when we talk about the number 14. But right now, I apologize, we are it's the it's the 10th today, so we're 10 days away. 10 days away from Trump's inauguration on the 20th, I believe. They're doing that on Martin Luther King's birthday, and we'll talk about the symbolism for that. But we, right now, in the midst of the fire ritual. So when we talk about the tribulation, and I threw my numbers up here. I'm going to throw tribulation up here, and we're going to go through a bunch of numbers. Like we talk about the book of Revelations, we talk about, remember, tribulation 5175, but we talk about, and let's stretch out our ciphers a bit. Two more ciphers. We're going to add standard, and I always add our satanic ciphers due to who we're dealing with. But when we talk about the tribulation, we talk about in the book of Revelations that God said he would know. Remember when talk about the story of Noah and the flood was the cleansing of the earth, and God decided to create balance through flooding, and those who would be saved got the message and went with Noah, and those who did not heed the warning drowned. So the next revelation is that God will not do that again. He felt kind of bad that he flooded the earth and he killed people that way. So he said his next way of cleansing the earth and creating balance would be through the use of fire. Through the use of fire. So, according to the book of Revelation, the earth is described as being destroyed by fire, with the most relevant passage being 2 Peter 3:7, and I want you to see that 3:7, which is 37. 37 is the 12th prime, which states that the present heavens and earth are being reserved for fire, kept for the day of judgment and destruction of ungodly men. This destruction is often interpreted as a symbolic representation of the end of the current world order, paving the way for a new heaven and a new earth, which we say we're going into this time of new heaven and new earth. But to get there, you got to go through a bad period. And we talk about, while Revelation itself doesn't explicitly state the earth is destroyed by fire, verses like Revelation 8:7 depict scenes of fire and destruction being unleashed upon the earth. So we're seeing this ritual of fire and destruction. Remember now, like I said, these men, the elite, they know the Bible better than anybody. They know the Torah better than anybody. They know the Quran better than anybody because they created these books. So they are people of ritual. They are people of these prophecies. As Prince says, just follow prophecy. That's the last thing he's trying to educate people on. So we go to Peter 3:7. We talk about fire. Talk about fire. So right now, we have the California wildfires, and what we know about the LA fire evacuation. These are the California and the LA fires, because not the whole state is just LA. Fueled by powerful winds and dry conditions, a series of ferocious wildfires erupted Tuesday and roared across the Los Angeles area, destroying hundreds of homes and killing at least 10 people. And that number probably has went up even more. Okay? So we know this happened Tuesday. So why is this story so strange? Why is it so strange? So Tuesday, of course, is 1/7, and for everybody who's been rocking with us, we know 17 is the kill code. Anytime you're watching a movie, they're going to drop the word 17. You're going to see the number 17. They can't help themselves. I just want to educate y'all on being mastered at seeing these numbers. So kill 17, 28, 64, 44. So, and we got a bunch of names that we got in this ritual, but I just want y'all to understand that 17 is the kill code. So, of course, on 1/7, 1/7 is a date with 53 numerology, 53 to 16 prime, 17, 33. So, it's a checkerboard boy production day. They like to make their productions. And 7 is also a number of death, and also 15. So we got 15, 7. Numbers that we've been seeing over the last 2 weeks. Remember the 15 dead in New Orleans, it went to 14 and dropped to 14. So we had 7. 7 is also a number of death that you're going to see a lot. You always see 7 a lot. Okay. So we got this days with 17 date numerology. We got fires that start that day. And what's the symbolism behind it? Why this ritual? What sparked this ritual? Well, let's go to the sparking of the ritual. And the sparking of the ritual happened the day after the WWE debuted on Netflix. The day after their debut. So WWE Raw wrestles up 4.9 million. See how to use 49? Revelation is 49. I think I have the book of Revelations in here. But when we played with Revelation in our last... So Revelation 49. We talked about Revelation, the book of Revelations. So WWE just happens to begin its Netflix run. I think it's worth like $500 billion, something like that. It's worth a lot of money. It's worth a lot of money. And they just so happened that day it's not Netflix, the page. So it just so happened that day, and that happened on January 6th, it just so happened today they went in the Intuit Dome in where? Los Angeles, California. So, vibration words, Los Angeles. If you see, Los Angeles is 37. Remember, Peter 3:7 talks about fire. The earth being cleansed by fire this time. Remember, God said, or the Creator said, He would not flood the earth. He's going to burn it down this time. Remember Seth Rollins, if you're wrestling fans, he comes out to burn it down. He talks about the fire symbolism. So Los Angeles is 37, which is the 12th prime number, the number of completion for those that know. And then 53 is the 16th prime. Remember now, these fires started on a day with 53 numerology, and Los Angeles is always our 53 city. So Los Angeles 53, New York 39. You'll see these numbers. Chicago 37. You'll see these numbers a lot with various cities. So Los Angeles is 37. LA by itself, of course, is 13. And we know 13 is our number of change. LA is 4. LA is 41 to 13 prime. And LA is also 14. It takes us right back to that 14. LA is also 31, 83, and 111, which is time. 111 is always deals with time. Okay? So yesterday, what else did we see? Pull out one more thing here. So we saw Notre Dame. They went 14-1. Winning by 27 points. If you add all that up, I get 41-51. They won by 50. The total game scored 51 points. But Notre Dame, I thought, got 27 points. So we see Notre Dame, the 41 school, the 13 school, Moving on. See number 50, he represents, America is 50, where they're always going to put numbers. See that 24, what's the name, had 24 points. See that 98. So they're just throwing numbers out there, putting the kids in the jerseys, throwing the numbers out. I hope we didn't lose our stuff. Oh, this thing is good for that. Oh, it's good. It took all my stuff away. All right, so we'll go back. We're doing one at a time. But Notre Dame, 43 to 14 prime. Like we talked about prime. No, that's not Notre Dame. What is that? I'm sorry. Wiped all my stuff away as usual. And see how we shorten Notre Dame, or Notre, is 27 by itself. So Notre Dame, 41 to 13 prime. We saw that. And we talked about Los Angeles. Los Angeles in there, 37 and 12. Revelation, we'll put that back in play. Remember, Revelations is 50. Remember, we saw a lot of players wearing number 50. Revelation is 49, so we use Revelation. Fire, because we're talking about fire right now, 29 and 25. LA, the short verge, 4 and 14. It takes us 13, 4, 41 and 14. Takes us back to our 14. Definitely kill, because we were talking about a certain Pacific day, which is the kill code, 1728. So Revelation. And of course Trump, because Trump has a great deal to do with this, 25 and 29. So Trump is 25, 29. What else is 25, 29? Fire is 29, 25, and 25 and 29. So Trump represents the fire that's coming to America. So remember, Trump has been called Tribulation. Tribulation Trump, which is 51 and 75. Remember, they won by how many points? 51 points yesterday. 51 points, 27 to 24. Let's go back to so they won 27 to 24. The total points was 51 points. Tribulation is 51. We call them Tribulation Trump. See that big 98? Kicker had 98 to kick the final field goal. 98 was in play yesterday. Where did we have a 98? Well, I knew where our 98 was, so we're going to expand this again. Grab my standard, grab my satanic, reverse satanic. I'm going to update this bad boy, because I swear I saw a 98. Might have been wrong. Nah, I saw it. Trump is 88, But that Tribulation 5175, these are numbers that we're seeing. You see how Revelations is 50, and how they had somebody wearing the jersey of 50. LA is 13. The quarterback for remember Notre Dame wears number 13. So all this stuff came into play yesterday. Notre Dame 49. The book of Revelations is 49. So Revelation 49, Notre Dame 49. So perfect day yesterday for Notre Dame to move on. This happened during the time of Jimmy Carter's death. Remember Jimmy Carter pull up Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter 5472. And then President Carter, because it's always the last name. Carter is 29. And see how Carter takes us back to that 43 to 14 prime? See how Carter is a part of the 14 ritual? So 65, 29, 97, 43, the 14th prime, 29. Carter vibrates with fire. The death of Carter now bringing this fire, this revelation to America. Somebody called the fire the great equalizer in a story that I saw. Equalizer 75, 78. I'm looking for vibrations with that 75, 78. I thought I had saw it at some point. Thought I saw a vibration with. Yeah, so Tribulation is 75. And this story where the actor calls the fire the great equalizer is 75. So we are in the time of the tribulation. Remember, we got world war sparking, we got death, fire coming to earth. But funny how right after this Raw on January 6th was the day with 16 numerology, these fires break out in California. And the other funny thing that happened, this took place at Intuit Stadium. Had a whole bunch of folks, and The Rock was there. You know, The Rock is a big ritual guy. Live weekly program unfolding 52 weeks a year. Prophecy 52. So it happened in the Intuit Dome in LA. The Intuit Dome in LA. And we go to Intuit. Intuit is 3042. You know, 42 is our Negro number. And let's put Intuit Dome. I'm going to put the whole thing in there. And see how Intuit Dome is 49 Revelation? So Intuit Dome 49, 59. See how that Revelation just keeps returning. So Intuit Dome is 49. Revelation is 49. Notre Dame, who won yesterday, is 49. Everything is kind of going back into the beginning of this ritual. Every ritual needs a beginning. And this ritual began in LA with the WWE. WWE. And let's put WWE on here. And I'm going to put Raw because they call it Raw. Raw 15, 21, 42. WWE 15 and 12. Remember, Peter 37 in LA 37 is the 12th prime number. WWE Raw 30 and 33. So the fire started on the day with 33 numerology. Raw began the ritual. WWE Raw began it. And if we go back to $37, which people just want to make sure you guys see what we're talking about. 37 is a prime, so it's our 12th prime number, the number of completion. Anytime you see the end of something, the zodiac, the 12 signs of the zodiac is a completion map. That's all it is. We go through 12 signs, and that's it. That's why you have 12 months in a year. There's still all that from the zodiac. Nothing is original around here. Okay. All right, go back to our history. All right, so yeah, there where we at 30, 33. We had that 33 numerology on the 17th. Um, Raw vibrates with a couple of things on the board we got that I saw. We had a couple of 30s. Going through my list real fast. All right, make sure we don't have too many. But, you know, that 30, 33, we talked about that 33, the date was date with 33 numerology. Raw 15, Raw 21, Raw 39, vibrating with New York. Remember, the first Raw was in New York. So big ritual here. Big numbers ritual that we seen a lot of things vibrating with each other, especially things just connecting us back to these fires that took place right after that. So another big thing that happened during that Raw, for those that remember, Huck Hogan was there. Remember, Huck Hogan got booed out the stadium because he turned Republican this year, and he's Trump's boy. He's been Trump's boy. But they booed him out. LA, a big liberal hotspot, decided to boo him out of the stadium. And funny, excuse me, funny that Huck Hogan is 43 and 38. So Huck Hogan takes us back to 43, 38, the number of death. Hogan represented death. And Hogan being booed out of LA, comes out with the American flag. And the next thing you know, LA is on fire. LA is on fire the next day. So Hogan 43, taking us back to our 14 ritual that we started off with. Waving the flag in LA, and then the next day LA is burning up. Jimmy Carter 43, Huck Hogan 43. See how they vibrate? All this was in the death of Jimmy Carter. Remember, we need a great death to begin these rituals. Jimmy Carter's death was a great death to begin the ritual. So that's kind of the death, and then we need a death to close a ritual. So we need a death to begin a ritual. We also need a death to close the ritual. All right. So we got our date numerology, 5317, a day with kill code slashed all over it. We also got a 15 in that date. We see Raw 15. This happened right after that Raw, WWE Raw that day, where this ritual began. So 14. So this is a story I grabbed that somebody said it might be arson in the fires. Somebody might have started the fires. That's alleged. That's an alleged thing. We don't know how the fire started. We know they're present, and we know that they're there. We know they're present. We know they're there, and it happened right after Raw debut on. And that's another thing we gotta add. Netflix, and I want to say another thing to this that I want people to understand. Netflix 36, Netflix has a lot of 36, a lot of 90. We don't see too much 36. But the symbolism of Burn Hollywood and Public Enemy had the song Burn Hollywood Burn. So if you think about it, Netflix studios are just as competitive. And I think Netflix studios are in California also. I think they might be housed in Cali. But just to make sure. I don't like to say something and then that's not it. So let's make sure. I think they're in California, but better be safe than sorry. So actually, Netflix studios are in Albuquerque, New Mexico. They are in Albuquerque, in New Mexico. Funny, but they are on the West Coast, but they're not in California. So we see this burning of California. We see most of the movies that we're seeing now. They still produce some big movies in California, but Netflix Studios is not in California, and Netflix Studios is becoming just as competitive as any studio in California. We got studios popping up in Atlanta. Cat Williams, who's about to open a studio. I think his studio is going to be in the South. So California is really irrelevant. And I'm not talking about as far it's things in California that are still relevant, but as far as movies and production and entertainment, California is becoming very irrelevant. And Hollywood has burnt itself down with, you know, all of its agenda policies. And some of these agendas have been very dangerous and are very dangerous. So we're seeing the end of Hollywood. And most of these fires are in LA, Pasadena, places like that. You know, that's where these fires are taking place. So we're kind of seeing the end of Hollywood. We'll see a great migration, I believe, just stating possibly a great migration of actors coming out of Hollywood, coming to New York. Cleveland is a place where they produce a lot of movies and sets that represent New York at times. So you'll see Cleveland kind of coming up as far as where a lot of movies will be produced and made. Canada, they make a lot of movies in Canada. A lot of TV shows are made in Canada. So you see Canada coming up. But I think we're seeing the end of Hollywood and Hollywood's power over the film industry and entertainment. I think that's is coming to an end. It's coming to an end. All right, so we got Netflix. We got Hulk Hogan being at this spot. We got this happening one day after Raw hits Netflix. And we talk about the number 14. And this site wasn't working that good. It was kind of slow. So let's go back to the angel number 14 meaning and why you're seeing it. Remember, we've been seeing a great deal of the angel number 14. I don't think this page is going to work for us. There's too much going on with it. So let me get it out of here before it messes up the video. All right, so we want to... having some issues here. Let's get out of that. All right, so we're having some issues. My phone was having issues. But I just wanted to definitely make sure before we go, we look at angel number 14. I'm not going to that one spot because it's not. Find that number. Get off. Sorry about this, y'all. Phone decided this morning that it wants to go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. All right, see if I can pull up this angel number. And we want to just do angel numbers. All right. So angel number 14, significance interpretation. Let's see if it gives it to us without any problems. So angel number 14, significance, interpretation, and spiritual guidance. These ads, man. Everything is an ad today. The meaning of angel number 14 means balance, harmony, and commitment to your dreams. And it can be a positive sign that a much needed change is on arrival. So with horizon. So we talk about our change numbers 13, 14, 15. These are change numbers. This number is divine message sent from your guardian angels to give you hope, strength, and direction, either in their daily life or when it comes to a specific set of situation. Okay. A number of forward momentum and carefully calculated decisions. This number urges us to stay present and positive, calm, and collected, no matter what situation we find us in. So, we talk about balance, harmony, and commitment. We talk about the changing of order, coming out of what they call the New World Order. Coming out of that New World Order that they talked about to a new set of orders. So we got Trump coming in on the 20th. Everybody shaking like booty meat, which, listen, prophecy is prophecy. You know, prophecy is prophecy. Prophecy is created by the Creator. So prophecy are things that are going to happen anyway. That's why we have deja vu. You know, life is not just starting. It's already started. You know, that's why you have deja vu. You're catching up with situations. You've lived here. You've lived here. You've lived before. So I think it's just a replay. That's just my personal opinion of things we've already done and giving us a chance to make corrections. Sometimes we get it right. Sometimes we mess it up even more. That's just my opinion. But these rituals are bringing us into World War III, further into World War III when we talked about World War III. And you see Trump talk big to Hamas, and they better bring back the terror, bring back those hostages. Remember, 37 to 12 prime, World War III, 37. World War III is 37, Los Angeles, 37, Los Angeles on fire. So they're bringing us deeper into the ritual every day. We continue to go into this World War III ritual, the tough talk. As I said in that one video, you saw that Trump was not going to put boots on the ground. So once again, Israel, can you trust Trump? That's a question you got to ask yourself as you go into this world war. Remember, the Crusades was all about the Catholic Church and the Christians getting hold of Jerusalem. Don't hand it to them. Don't hand it to them thinking they got your back. They don't. The elites only have one back, their own. So remember that. They like prophecy and they want to see some of their prophecies fulfilled. So that's something that's got to be on the rocks. Raw 15. So things to watch out for. Things to watch out for in these sick rituals as we go through these rituals. But this is where we are. This is where we are. And funny, like I said, how Huck Hogan came in with the flag, and Hogan represents the death of L.A. And the next day, L.A. was on fire. L.A. was on fire. So a lot that was taking place in this ritual. We had the death of Jimmy Carter to begin the ritual. We have a big death to end the ritual. Like I say, you need big death to start a ritual. You need big death to end the ritual. And we're deep in this ritual as we go into this new balance and this new order coming with the Trump situation, Trump administration. Remember, Trump's got his sentencing today. Sentence is 31, sentence is 41 to 13 prime. Just all a joke, all a big comedy. America's a huge comedy. This world is a huge comedy, as I said. So remember, the number 14 has been in place since the New Orleans situation. And let's take New Orleans. Throw New Orleans in the mix. New Orleans 45-54, like we talked about. Trying to see if we had any 45 in this ritual here, any vibrations with New Orleans. We had truck, 19 in number of chaos. We had some 35 in that story. We had some 21 in that story, 73 to 21st prime. So I'm leaving everything up so everybody can kind of go through those numbers, and anything I missed, I'm letting everybody get a chance to see at least our standard ciphers. So anything I might have missed, y'all might pick up on just to see if there were some vibrations. Raw is 21, truck is 21 when we use the truck. Don't see 45, but remember Trump was the 45th president, and he is and see Jimmy Carter 54, New Orleans 54. Remember Jimmy Carter's from Georgia. He's born and raised in Georgia. Remember the alleged terrorist or alleged terrorists. That's what they want to call him in New Orleans. Went to Georgia State University. He's from Texas. Remember, Texas is in play because Texas is about to play Ohio State in this national championship. So these sports games are rituals. So Texas 15, Raw 15. See how Texas vibrates with Raw. WWE Raw 30, Texas 30. So we could see Texas in this national championship. They do got home field advantage. As I say, if you lose on your home field, there's nothing I can do for you. But definitely they're part of this ritual, and they had a big sacrifice to start off this run. In New Orleans, they had a big sacrifice for the college football championship, which 15 people, which they said was 14 people, they shorted us one person. All right, so things to watch out for, but definitely fire being 29 and 25, vibrating with Hogan. The Hulkster came. Hulkster is 43 and 38, the number of death. Fire vibrates with Trump. Trump is 25 and 29. Fire. Trump brings the fire. He's the Tribulation, which is 51 and 75. The Tribulation, 51 and 75. Great Equalizer, 75. Tribulation is the great equalizer. See how they're communicating? They're communicating. So, a lot in this story. Hogan is 97. So they got Hogan is 97. And 97 is the 25th prime number. 25th prime number is 97. And see how fire is 25. See how they hit it? Fire 25. Huck Hogan 97, the 25th prime in order. Hogan comes with the flag, gets booed out of LA the next day. LA is on fire. Hogan's about to bring the fire to LA. Gonna burn that Minky Finky down, and that's exactly what happened with the ritual. Soon as Hogan got booed out of the building, LA was on fire, but he symbolized the coming of fire to LA. The coming of fire to LA. So a great deal in that WWE Raw debut that they tried to hide as regular. And remember, Fire's 38. You see how Fire's 38? Fire's the number of death, and Huck Hogan is 38. See how Hogan played a huge part in this ritual. Hogan 43 to 4. Hogan played a major part in this fire ritual that has hit LA. And like I say, nothing is done just to be doing it. So a lot of people ask, well, why is Hulk Hogan there? Which is a good, valid question because, you know, people know Hogan's going to be booed in L.A. Right now, politically, everybody's picking sides. They're blood and Crippin'. So, of course, Hogan was going to get booed because they know he's a blood. But bloods are popular. So he gets booed out of L.A., but he represents so much that was coming to L.A. with the American flag. Fire. The American flag was going to bring fire to L.A. And remember, the American flag was on display. So the American flag is 5472. When we talk about the American flag, we talk about New Orleans 54. So the American flag goes back to New Orleans. Jimmy Carter 54. So he comes out right during this time of Jimmy Carter with the American flag flying. So Jimmy Carter also big in this ritual of burning down L.A. So remember what's the name said, burn Hollywood? Public Enemy. He had a song called Burn Hollywood. Burn Hollywood is 5967, the number of chaos. 19, the number of chaos. 19 is the number of chaos. So Burn Hollywood.